I remember in high school when I was here for 40 Acres Finalist Weekend, we were over at DKR Stadium, and we were giving us a stadium tour and stuff like that, and at the end, out walks Vince Young, and he gives us a tour of the stadium, gives us a tour of the facility, and at that point I was like, wow, if I come to UT and I go through with the 40 Acre Scholars Program, I'm gonna have something different.
UT has been a lot smaller in a sense than I had imagined. And I think 40 Acres definitely contributed to that too, just seeing so many familiar faces as I'm walking around. But it's also been bigger than I expected to in terms of the opportunities that have been presented to us.
So I met Catherine Stouffer in another scholarship finalist weekend in a different state. That friendship has proven central just not only to freshman year, but throughout college, and we've stayed close throughout. And then Jonathan Go, we met finalist weekend, and I remember just emailing back and forth with him before freshman year and trying to figure out rooming. We ended up living together, and let me tell you, that guy's crazy. But crazy in a good way because he's doing so many things at such a high level.
Well, first off, everyone in the group is definitely better at something than I am. Multiple things, most things actually, which is really cool to see. It's a little intimidating at first, but it's just been fun to learn from them. You get to talk with them about everything from literature to biomedical engineering to studio art, and I have no idea about any of those things.
I think about my friendship with Connor Frew, who is completely unlike me in most ways, yet we're so close just because we have similar goals here on campus, and we're trying to achieve similar things. And so while he's engaged in art and knows everything about art that I don't, I'm doing finance, and somehow we're able to connect.
I think my favorite memory was when we first came, before freshman year, we went on a retreat together. Kind of a funny story, we numbered each other off, so whenever Christy asked, is everyone here? We would number off. Someone would always forget to say their number, or we'd be missing Ron. Always wondering where Ron is, but we love him because of that.
I feel really close to a lot of the alumni here at UT. I know some of my friends at other universities just kind of feel like one number in a huge pool, but here I feel like people know my name. There's alumni that want to give back, and they want to mentor you, and they want to pour into you, and I have gotten that chance at the 40 Acre Scholars Program.
This summer I will be interning at a private equity firm in Dallas, and that's primarily because of Mr. Massey, who's another donor and has graciously helped me along the process and really helped me as I was interviewing for finance opportunities. I know that it will be a tremendous amount of work, but there's so much learning that will be done, and I think that's just characteristic of the opportunities that were given in 40 Acres.
I mean, studying abroad as a whole was an incredible memory. Being in Prague, it just kind of hit me when I was in a photography class, and being able to just spend the summer doing something that I loved. I could not have been here, could not have done this, could not have been soaking up a whole new culture without the help of 40 Acres.
And I remember my freshman year, I had a chance to go down to El Salvador and work with the medical mission clinic down there for a couple of weeks. I spent Monday, Wednesday, Friday out at the clinic, seeing 60 patients a day, taking their vitals, getting to know them, taking their patient histories. The idea of these people that really didn't have access to medication or really access to any sort of sound scientific advice, but we're able to come here for free and see things that were maybe routine for us in the United States, whether that was a urinary tract infection or a stomach virus. And I spent Tuesday and Thursday in the fields, cultivating bean crops, corn crops, with my host family. And that was just such a surreal experience for me to see a really authentic view of a different area. So being in El Salvador really brought me down to the heart of medicine, what it really looked like just to help one person at a time with whatever resources you had.
It definitely scared me when you just said, I'm gonna be a senior, because it hasn't really hit yet. These 4 years have flown by, and I know everyone will tell you that, but you don't really believe it until you're sitting in this chair, having someone tell you you're a senior. I'm not accepting it yet.
Heading into senior year, I'm most excited about getting to stand next to Bevo as a member of the Silver Spurs organization. Maybe I'll go out on a few more dates this year, senior year, let loose a little bit more, get away from the studies a little bit more. GPA won't change too much at this point.
I'd say just being able to call yourself an alumni, and I think that has so many benefits and such a pride behind it. You go to some of these events as a student and you see all these UT alumni networking and talking and mentoring you, and whether that's a fundraising event or whether that's the Distinguished Alumni Awards, you get to see where all these people are at, and as soon as you graduate UT, you get to be part of that group. You're part of that exclusive club, and I think that's something that I can wear proudly, and I'm gonna flaunt as much as I can for sure. And it's definitely going to be a lot of fun to come back here in a couple years and see how different the campus is and how different the university is, but how similar it still is to the experience that I had.